Hello, my name is Adarael. I'm playing Jason Carter, the vault-dwelling gunslinger who's overdressed and was raised on a city diet of film noir and westerns.
Hello, I am Alereg, and I'll be playing Dr. Karl Hoffman, the Brotherhood of Steel initiate who is trying to mostly keep folks together, not always succeeding.
Hi, I am Legacy, and I'll be playing Chanel, your survivor, and also a threat.
Hi, I'm Termite, and I'll be playing Iris, the synth, who is also a threat, but if you know she's there, it's already too late.
And I'm Solomon, and I will be your overseer for this evening, dealing with all of these threats and their various shenanigans. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Evening.
When we last left off, you all had finally made it to New Vegas after a rather rough start to the day, dealing with an incursion of the Robo-Scorpions, some very well-equipped lobotomites, and one very angry cryo-lizard. You finally managed to head off to the strip proper. After a bit of stocking up at Mick and Ralph's, and a little bit of money made at the Atomic Wrangler for Dr. Hoffman, you all managed to head into the strip proper to see the glitz and the glam, for Jason Carter to finally see this place he's seen so many times in the movies, and to just feel the energy and the joy in this place, despite the fact that it's a, well, wintry hellscape outside. You headed into the Lucky 38 with the permissions cards from Mr. House, and found yourselves finally in a room that is not cold, not even just with a little bit of the biting chill. It is comfortably warm, almost perfectly warm. The main floor is quite open. There are what looks to be a bar with several bottles of various types of alcohol behind it. There are tables for blackjack, poker, roulette tables, and slot machines as well, but there doesn't seem to be anyone else here aside from 3 Securitrons aside from Victor's model. The other Securitrons are bigger, shinier, newer, and have the usual faces of hardened GIs on them, as opposed to Victor, who is all smiles on his computer screen. Welcome to the Lucky 38 casino floor. Nice, ain't it? Just wish it was a little more lively. And he just turns on his wheel one way then the other.
What happened to all the people?
Well, about that. Lucky 38 hasn't really had anyone in it aside from the courier and his companions. Y'all are some of the only ones to make it in after he, well, headed off.
This seems like a poor way to run a casino.
Well, Mr. House doesn't really run this place as a casino. It's more just his home, his sort of home base kind of thing. It was meant to be a casino that was going to be lavish and even more ritzy than the Ultralux before the bombs fell, and then, well...
Fair enough.
Very disappointed.
If you want, I can go ahead and mix you up something over at the bar, but might not be best to keep Mr. House waiting.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's too fond of people not keeping to his schedule.
Say the least. And he just rolls over his wheel, also having little additional metal steps he can use to get up the steps to the elevator, which it looks like there's only one singular elevator in this place, that it's at the very center. I can go ahead and send you on up if y'all like, or if you need a moment to get your bearings, feel free.
I don't think there's a whole lot to get our bearings on. The place is empty.
Sure enough.
No reason to. Please.
I think it'd be best if we just head up now.
All right.
No reason to delay.
Well, after you, Doctor.
I shall lead the valorous charge. And he will follow after the good robot then.
He will go ahead and put his little pincer hand into another control port, and the elevator will ding, and the doors slide open. I'll be sending y'all up to the penthouse then. Best of luck to all of you. Mr. House isn't a hard man to work with. Just keep in mind he's very regimented. After all this time, he kind of scheduling's basically the best thing that he can do.
Sounds like a match made in heaven for a German like me.
I wasn't gonna say it, and you just see the smirk almost seem to grow a little bit wider on the TV screen, and as you head inside, he just nods his head almost like he's trying to do it like a tip of the hat, and the doors will close, and you begin the long way up, giving you a few moments to discuss anything in what could be relative privacy, if you wish.
You say that like I'm not paranoid that the elevator is bugged.
You say that like the elevator isn't definitely bugged.
If you think it's bugged, you can go ahead and give me a roll of perception and science.
Sure. I mean, why not?
Okay.
I'd like to confirm my fears.
Perception.
That would be a critical success.
No, yours didn't roll.
It's a critical success for Termite.
Shit.
So I got two.
No successes. Even if I believe that's a complication on that even.
I would get a success at least. I gotta remember not to use that red roller because it doesn't do anything.
No worries. So, Iris and Jason both look around. This elevator is very clean. It's very bright. You also do get the distinct sort of sense that you're being watched. Iris, you can hear a very, very light hum coming from the control panel. You get and you can get the feeling that there's more energy going to that control panel than there really should be. Dr. Hoffman, you go so far as to look around, just sort of feeling all over the place, and then accidentally hit all of the buttons on the control panel as well.
Scheiße.
Thankfully, there's only 4 buttons, but there's still.
Ding.
Yep. And just the shame of silence as you hear Victor's voice over the PA system go. It just goes ding. I rolled her sweet. Close again. Ding. Veranda. And then finally, ding. Penthouse suite. And that is where you all are going to be getting off.
Not a word is said. Iris just walks out of the elevator.
Yep. Nothing.
Fair enough. You are overlooking what looks to be a rather large and circular penthouse. You think that this is probably one of the floors at the very top of the Lucky 38. Overlooking everything in Vegas and the surrounding area of the Mojave. You can see snow as far just out into the horizon, but you also see the lights down below. of the Gamora, the Lucky 38, and the Ultralux. You head on down a ramp as opposed to stairs that leads to a lower area that has all kinds of amenities. You can see that there's couches, that there's another bar that basically circles the entirety of this place. And it feels even a little bit warmer here, but a cozy kind of warm, like a roaring fire. And you hear wheels similar to Victor's coming at you, but instead of seeing Victor, you see what look to be two Securitrons that have, instead of a cowboy's face, the face of two women. Well, howdy there. You must be the ones that Mr. House sent for.
Unless he sent for others, yeah, that'd be us.
Well, pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Jane. I'm one of the people that keeps care of Mr. House.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Iris is currently under the assumption that they already know all of us, so
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
introducing herself.
Don't mind Marilyn. She's unfortunately got a little bit of a problem with her vocal box. We're working on fixing that up here soon.
And that, Carter snaps his fingers, goes, oh, as he gets their names.
There you go.
I do not understand.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. All right.
Were we not told that they're character actors?
Yeah, but now I know which actors.
She just smiles wider on her screen. Well, good to know that someone appreciates the classics. Follow me if you would. And she turns around with Marilyn turning with her, and they just sort of not march, but just guide you along through a couple like separator sheets almost that separate one part of the room from another. And inside you see a massive computer screen with a control board that has all kinds of dials and buttons and keyboards that all go to different systems just at a glance. And on the computer screen is a very well-kept, well-dressed man. His face is all you can see, but you can tell that he is wearing a suit because you can see like the top of the tie and everything. And he has a pencil mustache and a look of almost permanent curiosity and amusement.
Now, because I don't recall if this was clear in Fallout New Vegas, does this appear that this is a video feed or a definite artificial face?
It appears that this is a face reconstructed probably from a portrait or picture. But you do get the sense that this is a current feed, given that not the actual like what is presented to you is artificial, but you get the sense that this is a feed of like a communication.
Sure. Okay.
Well, good that you finally decided to join us. I am Mr. House, current proprietor of the strip. A pleasure to finally meet you all properly.
Pleased to meet you. So, apologies for being later than you expected, but the roads aren't in the condition that they once were.
No, they're not. Something I unfortunately have not been able to remedy quite as quickly as I'd hoped. I've been working to send out my Securitrons and some other Protectron models that could clear the way, but the snow just keeps coming. I've been having some of my best agents work to get on this, but there's only so much that they can do, and there are also the threats that have begun to flood into the Mojave. I assume that you've interacted with some of them, these odd lobotomized individuals and these rather garish scorpions.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, we've had the pleasure.
Then you understand why exactly it is that I can't just have my people focus on clearing the roadways. And Miss Winchester, I believe that you understand why it is that I also have to have some of my even better agents fracking 3 individuals in long black coats.
Yeah, no, I understand.
They've even had 2 of my best men on the run for a while now.
Interesting.
I will go ahead and delay any problems or any thoughts you may have. I have no interest in working with the Connecticut Institute of Technology. Or the Commonwealth Institute of Technology, whatever title they'd like to go by now. I didn't want to work with them then, much as I didn't wish to work with Vault-Tec then. Robert House works for Robco Enterprises solely. And Dr. Hoffman, that actually brings a bell to you. You remember back before everything happened, Robco was one of the bigger robotics industries with the CEO of Mr.
Yeah.
Robert House. But it also doesn't look like you're speaking to a ghoul. So if this is the same Robert House, he's been alive for the entirety of the event and up to this point.
I do apologize. May I ask a slightly personal question to you?
I suppose if we are to enter a business arrangement, we must get to know one another at least slightly. By all means.
How old are you?
A very wonderful and pertinent question. As of current, I am roughly about 272 years old.
All right. Question, and pardon my American. How in the fuck?
If you... Oh, my dear friend. Dr. or perhaps Herr Hoffman. If you think that the Protectrons and the iBots were solely the only things that Robco Enterprises focused on, and that I put my billions of dollars worth of research and development into, you'd be sorely mistaken. I have worked to prolong my own existence in the hopes that should anything happen, to which it did, I would be here to ensure that civilization was not lost forever.
Well,
You don't have to.
It's no wonder the Institute wanted to work with you.
That they did. And I believe that they still do. I've been getting pings from an unknown source, and I've been working to block them.
So what do you need from 4 weirdos from all corners of the Mojave?
Well, let me be quite blunt. Despite the fact you are, and to quote you, 4 weirdos from the corners of the Mojave. You're quite effective. I notice talent. I recognize it. I appreciate it. More than what any backwater farmer or card shark could throw a handful of caps at you for. So, I wish to acquire your services, to have you work for me. And of course, I would be glad to help out any settlements or people that you associate with. Lilybell could get more protection from the Securitrons, more assistance as it needed. I believe that the Garden of Eden creation kit that is currently powering Lilybell has been slowly dying, yes? I can renew it, or replace it.
This is all fine and dandy, but what do you want in return? You wanted us to be hired, but you've not told us for what purpose.
Straight to business, then. I would like you to take a more direct approach. We believe that these threats have been coming from the Big Empty, a research station that was at one point known as Big Mountain. I would like to ensure that all of you go there and put an end to this. Taking out this threat at the source should, if not end hostilities and this winter, at least slow them down, make them easier for us to work with, make it more natural, perhaps even to the point that the winter would pass or come back naturally, as opposed to being constant.
That sounds like a mighty fine dandy idea. What proof do you have that this Big Empty is where the root cause of this?
It may not be the root cause, but we do, well, I guess I do know, that the Institute is working with what they call it, the think tank in the Big Empty. So it was mentioned that if we do not go after them, then this would eventually pass, which is what we talk about on the way here.
Right.
So I think it's a fair assumption that what's happening in the Big Empty is the cause of what's happening here.
I do appreciate that one of you is apprehensive, though. And if you wish to have another source of information, enjoy a number of logs from my top agent. And his own face just sort of minimizes, and up comes a audio log that begins playing. Big Empty has so many technologies and so many things that I wouldn't ever think possible. A lot of things I wouldn't want possible too. But the think tank, I think I got them under control. They're not hard to trick, paranoid, but paranoia can be played with, worked on, maneuvered. I'm leaving a lot of the technology here, but I'm taking the transponder that I used to get here. I'll leave it with someone that I can trust. Someone that should be able to make sure that if shit goes sideways again, me or someone else that's working with me can get back here. And then the log ends and you see that it was recorded about 9 years ago. And the name has been scratched out and been replaced with Courier 6. which is the courier that was the hero of Hoover Dam that ended the hostilities, destroyed the Legion after sending what was left of them back east, and pushed the NCR back west. My top agent has been there repeatedly, but decided that it was enough of a threat that he shouldn't keep making visits back.
So, your best agent, somebody who's probably knows this place like the back of his hand if he's been there a couple times, doesn't want to go back. So you hire 4 schmucks that you don't know anything about, really, in hopes that we help you.
I know enough, and I also know that I would very much prefer to just send my agent back. But he's gone to ground. He had a very bad conflict with the agents in the long coats.
Understood. Okay. What else can you do for us other than just the fixing one piece of technology for us? What else are you gonna offer?
I have the entirety of the resources of New Vegas at my disposal. I could offer you plenty. I could offer you caps in the thousands. I could offer you weapons, a place to stay, food. I could offer Miss Winchester a way to ensure that the Institute would never be able to track her again.
That is all fine and dandy, and that is great. But Mr. House, with all due respect, there are hundreds of people that are starving, cold. It's not just a problem with us, it's a problem with a lot of other people. There are people whose supplies got cut off because they don't have the means or transportation to get from one place to another. There are people that are now having to basically eat their animals to survive. There's a lot more that needs to be done. I'm okay with helping you if my group decides to go that route. But the 4 of us shouldn't be the only ones that benefit from your generosity. If you're wanting us to do a job, you're going to have to start benefiting a lot more people. There are people right outside of where you are who are suffering here. Can we maybe get them a little bit of help? Give the people of Lilybell a little bit of help? Who we are losing everything. We've had to go out and scavenge and hunt and try to just survive on the little bits of food that I'm able to find with my truck, which is also dying. People here are hurting, and they're hurting real bad, and if you're offering up food and shelter, the 4 of us shouldn't be the only ones benefiting from it. Your community should be benefiting from it too.
Hey, Chanel.
Yeah.
Give me a roll of charisma and speech.
Please don't fuck this up.
I'm gonna get obliterated.
And before we all get obliterated for this.
My speech isn't that.
Don't roll 2 20s.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want.
I'll be so real. This might genuinely not be a bad position to give Solomon some action points to roll extra dice.
Yeah. Are y'all cool if I roll a couple extra dice?
I'm cool with it,
say
sure.
at least one.
Okay, do you want 1 die for 1 point, or would you like 2 dice for 3?
Are we cool with...
I'm cool with 3.
I'm good with 2 extra dice for 3.
All right,
Sure.
yeah. Then I will roll 4d20
40-20.
for 3 extra dice.
You have any Do you have any perks or anything that let you reroll stuff?
I've got. I mean,
Well,
Points?
well,
to give you to help you out a little bit, he is technically male.
yeah. He is technically male. That allows me 1d.
One reroll.
One, gain a free reroll in Charisma Fest. Is that just for one die, or is that for all
That is
the ones
for
that
one die.
Okay. First of all, let me just count points really quick. Got it. Okay. I'm going to use my Black Widow to reroll 1. And I'm going to spend a luck point to reroll another. So I'm going to reroll 2.
Come on.
I'm rolling
10.
that 16 and that 18 if you know that. Yeah.
I assumed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll the 2.
There we go.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that is 2,
Yeah.
4, 5 successes.
Brunel's coat falls open a little bit.
The overall button pops.
You just hear a very light. You remind me of my agent. Very well. I can divert resources to assist other outlying civilized societies and to put more into assisting Freeside. I had hoped that we would wrap this whole winter issue up, and then I could divert my resources then, so that way it would be easier for them to help as well, to help themselves. But I can act now.
Well, even if this winter ends, people are still gonna be without food and resources for quite some time because it all gotta melt. That doesn't not. People will still be without food, without proper shelter, without proper clothing. Maybe start by giving them a little now, then helping them out after it's done.
You make a fair point. I will have my Securitrons work on passing out more resources that they can utilize. So perhaps even to assist with Freeside's greenhouses.
I appreciate it. And the people who are living and suffering do too.
And what of the rest of you? Would you have other bleeding heart things to have me work with?
Hey, where Chanel goes, I go. So what she's asking for, that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to ask for. I do have some questions to see if you know anything that we might not.
If you're going to be working for me, I would be happy to answer any questions that I can.
What do you know about the Divide and the Sierra Madre?
The Divide is an area where large amounts of radioactive wind buffet the place permanently, basically. People that used to live there, there was a society there. One that was, what did my second agent call it? A new nation taking its first breath? A poet, that one. It was a society that, unfortunately, after a courier brought along a package, unknowing what was within it, unknowing what he was carrying caused its destruction. The Divide was a area where several of the unfired nuclear weapons of the United States government reside. Still do.
Okay, well that's not good. And then the Sierra Madre.
Ah, the Sierra Madre. It's been a while since I've heard about that place. It was a rather large, opulent, gaudy casino. It was supposed to act as a rival to me, put up by someone who considered himself my rival, Mr. Frederick Sinclair. A fat cat who got too big for his own britches. And what little did he know that the security systems he would put in place would malfunction and cause one of the worst mass deaths within our history. Even now, that place is, to put it a ghost town would be putting it lightly.
So his robots went nutty and killed everybody, right?
Well, if only they were robots. The security system was meant to put out a form of gas.
Hey, that's worse.
One that would either put people to sleep or make them more pliable. It went wrong. Now the air there is not only toxic, once it touches your skin, it starts to necrotize. Your skin will rot off of you almost immediately. The people that live there are barely able to be considered people at all. My agent called them akin to ghosts that would stand up with the worst of injuries. Shoot them with a 50 caliber explosive round at the torso, they'll just stand back up with their organs hanging out. They had to be dismembered to stay down.
Nope.
Oh. Well, that's good to know.
Would I know anything about this sort of gas technology?
You can go ahead and give me a roll of, let's call it intelligence and science, specifically for you, because this you also might have heard a little bit about a elder who went a little nutty and headed out that way.
Despite having a bunch of science, I'm going to make the executive call that Carter will not roll on this because there is zero way he ever would have heard of that.
Of course.
I got a success on that.
You had heard about this gas. It was meant to be a sort of a harmless prototype, one that would be good for just crowd control. And then it went worse. It was a red cloud, one that was horrendous, toxic, and just causing so much violent, messy death. You've heard about this place because you've also heard that there was is a old Brotherhood of Steel elder still at the Sierra Madre, Father Elijah, who was a very important figure within the West Coast chapters of the Brotherhood of Steel. But after the rather harsh loss at Helios 1 went silent, crazy, and left.
So I got perhaps a slightly more pertinent question. If you could have Victor share with us everything that you have on Big Mountain and the defenses there and things we're likely to encounter, that would, I think, greatly increase our chances of success and not coming out the other side looking like people who'd been turned into spaghetti sauce.
Would also
Spaghetti
suggest
sauce.
tato sauce.
Oh.
Yeah. I would also suggest including information, as we are skilled individuals, but equipment would also go a long way to assisting us in this. If you need it back afterwards, well, so be it, but ensuring success would be quite appreciated.
I'd be glad to pass along the items and information that I can. Information is far easier, as Victor still has the files from my agent's work in both the Divide and the Sierra Madre, as well as the Big Empty. I can pass it along to you as you wish. So that way, should you have to head out to these locations, you can.
Yeah, I think the information on all of them will be useful.
Very well.
I get the feeling we might end up heading to all of those places.
True enough. And then, Jason, you see that your Pip-Boy just immediately begins having information uploaded to it.
Excellent. Getting it now.
And the first things that you see as listed as like pertinent threats within the Big Empty, you see cazadors, which are large insects that are incredibly toxic within the New Vegas area. You see Night Stalkers, which are a hybrid between coyote and rattlesnake. Also very venomous. You see lobotomites, the robotic scorpions. You also see, apparently there were, you see the words danger suit and robo dog.
Danger snoot.
Huh?
To clarify, danger suit.
Oh, danger snoot.
S-U-I-T.
Danger snoot.
This is not.
Like
This is
a
not
really
like
vicious
danger noodle
rabbit.
boop snooch. No.
That makes more sense.
Sounds like something that would be up in Zion.
It's a danger dog.
Danger suit. No.
Danger suit.
Dangerous with
Danger
Robo
dog.
Dog.
Robot dog.
Robo dog.
The files are also
Oh.
ones that you can access to get more information on.
9. No, we do not need another dog. Maisie, not enough already.
But we could get another dog.
If you wish to see one of the robo-dogs in person, I would suggest going to the King's, though I think that the King is currently very busy. His own pet, Rex, is one of the robo-dog models.
You said Rex? You said that there's a puppy named Rex out there? And I didn't get a chance to see him.
Well, again, the Kings have been quite busy working to keep their society safe.
Chanel's immediately slowly backing up towards the elevator.
So
Fine.
we're losing her.
But Doc, it's just
Later.
Is there anything else that y'all want to know?
Radiation levels by Big Mountain. Anything that we need to worry about?
Big Mountain should largely be free of radiation aside from the specified areas on the map within the files I gave you. The radiation testing areas should be the only spots where you have to worry too much about that. As for the other locations, the Divide is permanently radiated to some degree, and the Sierra Madre, the cloud itself, not only is toxic, but it also has taken on the radiation of the bombs that have been dropped.
So not only will
Yeah,
it melt our
but-
skin, but it will also melt our brains. Wunderbar.
That's gonna
Yes,
make
let us-
things more complicated.
Not
All
go
right.
there.
We'll talk later.
If you need anything else, do feel free to ask, or you can ask one of the Securitrons and I will pop in, as it were.
I'm good. Rest of you?
I think we covered everything, at least important for right now.
My
Yeah.
requests have been talked of.
And you're gonna start by helping out the people that need it the most, right?
The supplies will be sent out. Toot sweet.
Good. It better.
As it stands, I now give you full free reign of the Lucky 38. You may go to the bar at the top of the Lucky 38. You may enjoy the amenities within the casino. You may rest within the High Roller Suite if you see fit. It has been cleaned since its last resident took place there.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Oh,
Yes,
and
but
something
we
for the
understand.
road. And you just see the robot named Madeline roll up and distribute out large, like, tins that almost look like the size of a lunchbox, but without any logo or branding or anything on it. And inside the tins are 100 caps for each of you.
Yay!
We've got money for goods and services.
Consider it a sign-on bonus.
Woohoo!
Appreciate it.
Wunderbar. Money for drugs.
Yay, drugs.
Please do that on your own time.
Nein, these would be the good kinds of drugs. Radaway and such.
Pertinent.
Iris just like idly pats the pocket that has the dose of Colmex in it. Yeah.
Opens jacket and there's just so many drugs in the inside before
All
closing.
out.
Fear and loathing in New Vegas.
Well,
Perfect.
I suppose we should head out and work on figuring some things out, yeah?
Agreed.
Jawohl.
By all means.
Gone.
Again, do feel free to let me know when you're ready to truly begin heading out to the big empty. I believe I have the file on who got each entryway to these locations. I just need to dig through them again. It's been quite some time since I had to worry about my top agents' logs.
With that, the doctor's going to give a small, before heading back to the elevator.
And you guys head back onto the elevator, passing by the robots with the faces of the actresses who move back to begin speaking, quote unquote, in what sounds like binary chatter. And into the elevator you go, the doors close, and you are free to pick whichever floor you wish to go to.
Bottom floor.
I believe it is time for us to go see a robot dog.
Yeah, we'll never hear the end of it if we don't.
Indeed.
You
And,
are very right.
We have some things that we should discuss that I'd rather not do here.
Yeah,
And
on the way to
bye.
see the Robodog.
The elevator heads on down, and you are free to head out into the casino floor. Victor's there waiting for you and just like gives a nod. Hope things went well.
Reasonably?
Big enough ash.
Surprisingly.
We're gonna go.
Hey, no.
Okay, we gotta go. We got important business to take care of before we start a mission that involves visiting the kings and giving a good boy a good boy treat.
Don't even know if Rex is a boy or not.
Oh, y'all going to go see Rex? Yeah, Rex is a boy.
So
Thank you for that information, Victor.
Anytime.
Alright. But yeah, we're gonna head out.
Yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
All right, I'll just hang out here. If you need anything, just hop on by.
Oh, wait, hold on. What do robot dogs like to eat?
They still eat normal things for that a dog would eat.
Why?
Okay.
Because oh, y'all didn't get. My bad. And then he just his face like closes out, and he just pulls up a like a text file on his face. Robodogs ain't exactly completely robotic. They are mostly organic dog that's just had some cybernetic enhancements added onto it.
Oh,
Is this like is this a lobotomite but a dog?
Well, they still got their brains, or well, I think it's probably still their brain.
Yeah, I think it's closer to like a robo brain.
That would be more apt, yeah. They do live a bit longer than most regular dogs, though, since they can just be have things that are failing replaced and have their minds updated.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, well, and then the text closes out and the face comes back. What do you expect when you get things that come from the fucking Enclave?
Fair.
Okay. We're gonna go pet a robot dog.
I would suggest they stop in the local butcher.
If you want to get meat, then the best place to get it is probably the steakhouse over at the Ultralux.
That is right. That is right.
True. We do owe the good Mr. Carter here a steak.
You bet you get your steak.
once we are outside the Lucky 38, Carter pauses, raises his finger, says, "Okay, first, Labarcamite. Second, Iris, go."
Yeah, so we're gonna have to go to the Divide and the Sierra Madre at some point, or at least one of us. Kind of points to herself.
Okay, why?
Well, unless you want the Institute reclaiming all those bombs and learning how to use that gas and the people that live in the Sierra Madre.
Okay, fair. Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
If they have not already been doing so.
I think they're just getting started working on it. That was one of the things that we were told to not look into if we were to accept the courses offered.
So that's very disturbing now that we know the information we know.
Yeah.
Alright, so steak, dog, supplies. Move out?
Yeah, we should. I do think the Big Empty might be a bigger threat at the moment, though, so we should probably head there first.
Yeah,
once we head out.
Regardless of the necessity of going to the Divide and the Sierra Madre, I think it would be best to start with something that doesn't make all of my flesh fall off.
Yeah, I'm curious how that would interact with me.
Do you still feel cold? Do you feel extreme temperatures at all?
I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm affected by them, but like poison and radiation just don't do anything to me.
Yeah, well, I
remember-
guess it really depends on what we're dealing with. I mean, if we're dealing with extreme cases of heat, your flesh could still.
Slough off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it was a,
Radiation, poison, or anything aside, anything extreme like that could cause anything
Well,
to
it was a-
malfunction.
it was a poison gas, like a
Right, but he was describing it almost being acidic at this point because of how toxic it is. Yeah.
So,
So-
I mean, if it's got acid can. You put enough of that on anything and it could start to sizzle. So, all of us just gotta be careful.
So before Sierra Madre suits.
Yes, definitely.
I do not know where we will find such environmental safety suits, but
I mean, there's every possibility we find them at the Big Empty.
true.
That's kind of my hope.
Very true. Well, let us hope. Right. Steak.
Steak, dog supplies.
You head inside the Ultralux. It is just as opulent inside as out. The floors are marble. There are large, Greco-Roman design pillars going up along the place. Everyone is dressed up to the absolute nines in this place. And you look around and see that the attendants are all dressed in full-on tuxedos and long flowing dresses. And all of the people that work here are easy to see who is who, because they all have these porcelain masks with gold gilding along them. One of the attendants steps up to you, hands behind his back, looking like a butler out of an old movie, and says, "I do beg your pardon, but I must ask that you please relinquish your weapons to me at this time. We don't like to have anyone worrying about being shot while they're enjoying the casino or the steakhouse amenities here."
All right. Is there a tagging, something like a coat check?
We have our own individual lockers for each of our wonderful guests. Don't worry, we will be sure to bring them back to you. And if you like, for another 2 caps more, we can have them cleaned and maintained for you as well.
No need on mine, thank you.
Not for me either.
No.
Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, the only guns I got are these 2 bad ones.
Quite, madam.
I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nah, but for real, I don't really have any weapons. So.
Fair enough. I will, however, ask if you have any other explosive devices to please relinquish those.
But she's just a big fan of baseball.
Baseball, whatever that is. I love it. I love baseball. You know, the base, the ball, the whole
He
thing.
holds out an open locker.
Yeah, I know.
Handgun.
One Sinbad weapon disarming scene later. You all are free to move about the casino. The casino itself is fully stocked. Blackjack, poker, roulette tables. There are no slot machines here. just the place, just the tables where you sit or stand and interact with other people.
Interesting choice on their part.
We believed that the slot machines were a bit too loud and gauche for what we were going for here. Please enjoy yourselves while you're here. If you need a bit of a soak, we have our heated baths and sauna to the right. And if you need something to eat, our steakhouse is to the left.
Iris has perhaps never looked more uncomfortable in her life.
Do you need some assistance? Should we see if we can find you a stuffed animal to hold on to?
Let's just do what we came here to do and leave as soon as possible.
Of course. Of course. And we'll be sure to order something for Rex.
You head
Maisie?
to you head to the left into the steakhouse, and you are able to find that there are several people dining here. Everyone is again fully dressed up to the nines, and waiters are running back and forth with what looks to be very recently cleaned cloches that have all kinds of large, very fancy looking meals. You can see that there are steaks, that there are all kinds of what look to be like pastries. There are various types of foods that remind Dr. Hoffman of fancier restaurants from before the war, but with a little bit of that wasteland kick to them. The hostess speaks up to you with her face again behind the painted porcelain mask. Good evening. Table for 4 and one and a dish of our finest beef for your wonderful little companion here. And she just like kneels down and gives little scritches to Maisie.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
Actually, I might just head over to the casino.
All right. We'll
So,
find.
it's the
Do
three
you
of
want us to find you, or should you find us?
I'll find y'all.
Okay.
Table for 3 then. Please follow me. And she leads you off to a table. And as you sit down, you see that she actually slips what look to be laminated menus to each of you that only have like 5 items. But the main one that is like at the very top and like bolded with extra little calligraphy is the Brahmin Wellington.
Yeah.
It's fucking raw.
Fucking bass is fucking raw. Wonder who the idiot sandwich that has to make this is.
Razor grain bread on either side of the head. That's all it is.
I'm an idiot.
So Carter's plan is to not go crazy with ordering stuff, but to, enjoy himself, just because this is a slice of something that might resemble civilization if you squinted a little bit, that he hasn't had in quite a few years. But he is trying to retain as many of his caps as he can, because he's probably going to have to buy some stuff that is not edible to use on people's faces in a much less pleasant locale.
Fair enough. You do notice that the Brahmin Wellington is listed for running about 20 caps.
That's acceptable to him. That is an acceptable price.
The other food items come out as like there's a listed dessert as being sugar bomb brulee. And the
It's just weird enough, man.
Yeah. And the drink listed as being the Nuka Cherry Spritzer.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it all.
The full meal runs Jason about 40 caps.
Okay.
If a waiter happens to come by, Chanel's going to try to kind of flag them down.
Yes, madam.
Do y'all have any meat scraps that might not be used anymore? Trimmings, anything like such?
I would have to check in the back. May I ask why?
Well, I'm visiting a friend in a little bit, and he thoroughly. I think he would thoroughly enjoy a little nice treat.
I will give a hint. He's got 4 paws and a fur coat.
Ah. Then, yes, I will be sure to package up some of the scraps that our chef is unable to utilize. Would you also perhaps like to add on a full steak for him? The current chef has a bit of a soft spot for animals.
And she'll look down to Maisie, who's probably looking up at her, giving her the side eye. Make that too.
At once, ma'am. The meal that everyone gets, if you all go for the full thing, costs about 40 caps for everyone. The prices are pretty much fixed. It's just what you want. And it's probably some of the best food you've ever had in your life in the Wasteland. It's just really, really high quality. Dr. Hoffman, you are completely unsure how exactly they managed to make a puff pastry when you haven't seen any chickens or any real egg-laying birds of most any kind around here.
How in the fuck did they make a creme brulee when there are no eggs and I have barely seen anything that gives milk?
Well, obviously they used duck milk and they used cow eggs. He says this with a straight face.
What's a duck?
Quack, 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 quack.
I do not think she's ever actually seen a duck.
No, probably not. I don't. Come to think of it, I've never seen a duck in person, so that makes 2 of us.
They are nasty little bastards. Not as bad as geese, mind you, but
What's a geese?
bird.
Black.
So, have you seen a pigeon? Yeah? Or a crow?
And now I think you have your answer about where the eggs came from.
No, I don't. But that is alright.
No, if anything, we're farther from an answer now.
Yeah.
Well, storyteller, or has Chanel seen a chicken before, or a crow, or anything like that? What are those? Any sort of bird?
Probably crows and vultures.
Okay.
Probably never seen a chicken though.
Damn.
So, think of a vulture, but then think that all the feathers are white and larger.
And they float.
And they attack children because they're bastards.
Why didn't we kill these things off sooner? Why are they attacking the children for? What do you mean?
Like I said,
we made these things extinct, right? If they're attacking small, innocent children, we need to kill these. Did anybody go out and these things, or
we did eat them. However, they also tended to breed far faster than we could kill them.
Oh my god, so they're dangerous and they breed like bunnies.
Yeah. They're good eats for the hounds, though.
Well, if we ever find a duck, Maisie will have a snack.
To be fair, this was describing geese, not ducks. Ducks were brown, but also usually just attacked because fuck
if
people.
We see a geese or a duck, Ms. Maisie will have a snack.
Hoffman keeps very calm to himself. It's like, it's not a geese, it is a goose. But you know what? Fuck it. Doesn't matter anymore. Not going to try and not going to try and explain etymology of words from a German language.
Yeah.
Being fair, you've only ever said geese, so...
I know.
While Dr. Hoffman also has the existential crisis of where the fuck did the eggs come from? What is Iris doing out in the casino?
Probably just finding somewhere, sitting down. She's not like the luckiest person, but she does not want to go to the restaurant side because people will look at her weird if she doesn't eat.
Sure enough. So are you just trying to find like a table that's empty?
Oh, no, she'd probably go. You said there's what, like poker, blackjack, and roulette?
Yeah. There's also like a little bar at the center if you prefer not to play anything.
Now she'd probably go for the roulette table.
Okay. So you head to the roulette table. It is the full roulette table with plenty of places where you can put down chips, or if you don't have chips, you can just put down like regular caps on where you're willing to bet. And it is between the rolls at the moment. Everyone, please place your bets if you would. And there are a number of people who are putting down their bets. And you see like some people who look like they're just really, really deep into the betting, put down like a whole bunch of chips on the double zeros. Just, they're probably gonna lose, but they're a little bit lost in the sauce here.
A little bit lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where Iris would bet. How lucky is she feeling, and or how much does she want to try and take? Yeah, she'd probably just put 10 caps on, probably just 10 on red.
You put down 10 caps on red, and then a gloved hand puts down 10 caps on black. And he says, well, seems like we both have our money on different ideas here. And you look up and you see an individual that is familiar because you looked at them through your scope a while back before they snuck away. In full-on, very clean tuxedo is the more gaunt, more squat individual. Not the woman that you've been warned about, but the other male representing synth. Iris.
Yeah, I don't think I ever caught your name.
People call me Zeke.
Zeke. Yeah, I think different ideas is a fair way to put things.
I think, honestly, in this day and age, it's one of the only ways to put things without going insane. The roulette spins and the ball is dropped and just begins plinking along it. So I take it you're not going to be accepting our offer.
You know, as tempting as it was, no, I don't think I will.
And that's your right. It's your funeral, but it's also your right. The ball plinks down a few more, and just slowly the roulette begins to slow. You know, it's been a while since they've had me come after someone. And coming all the way out here, it's a lot. Much rather be back home and working to help the next generation just make something new. But here we are in some backwater, chasing after someone who left years and years and years ago, because there just happens to be some fancy tech around here. I actually kind of envy you. You get the freedom to choose. I kind of miss the idea of choosing. But I also think that the Institute has the right of it. That there needs to be someone else in charge that actually has the brains, not just brawn. I do think that you'd like the new father if you met him. But I don't think you're going to get that chance.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Unless you can somehow get him out here or manage to drag me back all the way to the East Coast. Alive.
Oh, there's one way to do it, but then it would be kind of pointless because he'd be basically talking to an empty screen. And I don't think that we're really going to be able to take you alive. You're not going to make that easy for us, are you?
Of course not.
Just wanted to be sure. And the ball finally stops and it lands on red. Big winner. And then the caps that you win are pushed to you. You basically double your money.
Hell yeah.
And his own caps are pulled away and he just sighs. Ah, well. Lady Luck's never been really on my side with this kind of thing. And he just looks to you and offers a gloved hand. Best of luck. Honestly.
Iris will shake his hand. May the best hunter win, I guess.
If I can, I'll make sure that she doesn't get to you first.
That's probably the best for everybody involved.
Yeah. And then he just slowly backs away from the table and works to make his way out of the Ultralux. So, with the meal wrapping up, the others are free to head back out to the casino from the Gourmand, the steakhouse within the Ultralux. Unless they have any questions for the wait staff.
I do have one question.
The waiter that you was serving you is like, yes, sir, how may I assist you?
Where in the heck did you find the eggs?
The large ants out in the basin areas.
Fair enough.
Of course, sir. I do hope everything was to your liking. And he also passes out it looks to be a small bag to Chanel. Your aptly named doggy bag, madam.
Thank you.
Of course. I do hope that you will join us again for another wonderful meal. And then with a short bow, he is off to serve another table. And you head on out to the casino and see that Iris won some caps.
Hey, nice. Looks like you were doing okay.
It's doing all right. Go.
Okay. I mean, Brex awaits.
You all are able to leave the Ultralux and head back out to Freeside, where the Kings have their main base. Normally, the Kings don't just let anyone inside, but recently things have gotten a little more open, especially with as much trouble there is in Freeside and as many people trying to get help as they can. The Kings have opened their doors to let people in to talk, to shoot the shit, to have a controlled fight if they just really need to release some stress, and to get aid with whatever they need. The man manning the desk just like gently guiding a small family to another King's member who actually is wearing a doctor's outfit, looks up and says, "Hey, how can I help you?"
We're here for the dog, Rex.
Oh, that's the King's boy.
She just wiggles the bag.
Oh, you got something for him. That I could see him probably coming down for. Just give me a sec, and he'll head on back and begin just talking to a few other pompadoured young gentlemen. And after a few minutes, you hear the normal tap of a canine paw, followed by a louder, heavier, more metallic one. And you see what looks to be an older German Shepherd with some of its fur graying, with some of its limbs are metallic, and especially the back limbs are much more robotic and much stronger. The front face its expression is entirely organic, but you can see that on the top of its head does look like the jar that would be on a robo brain that has a much smaller canine-sized brain. And he's just panting away. He looks like he's getting up in his years.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
And he quickly moves over to Maisie and just sniffs at her a little bit, and she sniffs back. And then he looks up to Chanel and gives off a bark that almost sounds like it came from a audio file as opposed to from his own vocal cords.
Or dot wave.
Pretty much.
Bark MP4 has playing now.
And she's just gonna open the bag and pull out the steak.
And as soon as he sees the steak, he just freezes and then just immediately sits back on his robotic haunches, and you can all hear the servos and pistons just like settling back.
Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy?
Another bark that sounds like it's a mix between the organic and the audio file.
What?
That.
Bark.
Bark. Bark Bjork. Heck. Sniff.
Bork, 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 bork. The AOL dial-up tone just going.
Bork, 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 bork.
Chanel's just gonna look back at the group, and her eyes are like absolutely like wide.
No, they can't keep him.
He's already got a person.
He does.
Yeah, the king already lent him out for a little while before, and he was missing him something awful until he came back.
Well, that's okay. I just heard that there was a dog in the area, and well, if you couldn't tell, I've got a little one here on my own, so I know the interaction with the other dogs is important. So I figured I'd bring Miss Maisie around to meet Mr. Rex, if that is okay.
And you can see that Maisie is actually just like currently just sniffing at the robotic parts, just curiously, just at the robotic legs, just tilting your head one way and the other.
Oh, Macy, please don't pee on him. Please don't pee on him. And she'll take out the second steak and let the bag just kind of like drop to the ground. All right, and sit.
Both him and Maisie both sit at the same time.
And she'll
That
just
is
plop
adorable.
them. And she'll just plop the two little steaks out right in front of the two of them. All right, eat.
And they just Maisie like pounces on her steak, where Rex just like begins going at it. But while you can tell there's still that sort of like animal ferocity, there's also, it almost looks like he's going at it like putting thought into it, like how he wants to go at it, like biting meat, then biting at fat, then working on the meat around the bone and trying to get to break the bone inside to get at it, that kind of thing. Like it's more methodical than just animalistically savage. The king just like pets along Rex's back. He's like, yeah, you're not doing too bad for 200 years old, eh, boy? Just like gently rubbing at his back.
200?
Oh, aren't you just a distinguished gentleman?
He lets out another bark and just sits back panting. Yeah, apparently the boss got this guy from some sort of scientist who said that this initiative, something that they were doing before the war, to work on making better cybernetic dogs. Apparently this was one of their first prototypes.
Well, he is absolutely adorable. And like I said, I hear that there are dogs in the area, and I just can't help myself. So.
Hey, don't worry. Same here.
Well, we also come bearing a little bit of news. If things go well, y'all might be getting a little bit more help in the next coming days. So.
Honestly, we'll take anything we can get. Things are getting to slim pickings around here, and we just need, well, everything. So anything, it will be taken.
Excellent. If y'all wouldn't mind, if you've got like a couple minutes in between helping the folks around this community, and just listing off things that you're gonna need: supplies, food, clothes, heat.
I think one of our boys actually has something like that, and he just turns like, "Hey, Jimmy!" And you used to see another younger, much reedier looking king whose pompadour is not exactly as the stylized as the others, but still working on it. He just comes up. He's like, "Yeah, boss, you still got that listing of what we got and what we need, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it right here." And he takes out this like little binder and pulls out a slip of paper. Wow, what we getting? And he's like, "Well, seems like some folks might be willing to share the wealth around here."
Yeah. I hope I don't come off as rude for asking, but what's with the whole and the what is a king?
Well, we just follow what the boss says, but according to the boss, when he first found this place, there were a whole bunch of recordings of some guy from way back in the day that everyone wanted to be like. It was almost like a church to him. Everyone thought he was the coolest of the cool, the best of the best, the baddest of the bad. And so everyone wanted to be like this guy called the King. So boss took that name, and we've been the kings ever since.
Carter is going to dial his Pip-Boy and pull up "Don't Be Cruel" and just play it for Chanel.
You just hear all the kings turn around and say, "Hey, someone got a recording," and some of them just immediately start like doing like Elvis's like hip swinging.
Maisie, cover your ass.
Maisie just like covers. It's like Maisie just like covers her eyes with one paw and then like moves one paw, which Rex just puts back down.
What?
I mean, hey, if you got recordings like that, I'm pretty sure the boss would love to have anything like that. You got, we got holotapes that we can probably burn that onto if you got.
Yeah, sure. I'll hook up.
Great, and they put the holotape into your Pip-Boy. The audio files go burning onto its tapes, and sooner rather than later, you have a holotape of some of Elvis's greatest hits.
Perfect.
To which they take and say, "You just made a pal with the Kings."
Glad to be of service. Carter, Jason Carter.
Jason Carter, you're a snappy dresser. We appreciate you and the rest of you. Starting with you, Miss Friend of the Animals.
Well, I'm Chanel, and this here is little Maisie.
Janelle and Maisie, all right. How about you, Doc?
I'm Dr. Carl Hoffman. If you actually have anyone that requires some medical attention, I'd be happy to try and do what I can.
I think for the most part we got it. It's mostly just cuts and bruises. No, we've taken care of most of the fighting around here, but if things get bad, we know who to call.
Sounds good.
And what about you, Miss?
I'm Iris.
Iris. All right. Well, next time you see yourselves in town, stop on by. Maybe the king will be open and ready to see you.
Will do.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, and you. You stay safe now, okay?
Yeah, and we'll pass along your list to our companion.
Sounds good. If they can send anything, we'll gladly accept it. It's about this time, Carter, that you get a ping on your Pip-Boy. Seems you've got an incoming message.
What do we got here?
And when you accept it, you can see that there is the face of Mr. House, like back on the computer screen. Mr. Carter, I think that you and your associates are soon to be ready to go.
Yes, indeed.
Very well. I've located the method by which my agent would use to get to the Big Empty. If you need a few more minutes to get yourselves ready, feel free. But when you are ready, you can head over to the Tops Casino. You'll be needing to meet with a man named Swank. He apparently has the device with which my agent would go back and forth between the Big Empty and here.
Will do. Just make sure we can round up any supplies we might need and then head right over and meet Mr. Swank.
Wonderful. If need be, you can go ahead and head out to, I believe it is Mick and Ralph's, and you can tell Mick to utilize that, what he believes to be a secret inventory.
I'll let him know.
Wonderful. And the screen shuts back off to the regular Pip-Boy screen.
All right, doctor. You wanted drugs? We can go get some drugs.
Wunderbar.
Chanel is in between the two dogs, just giving both of them all of the lovin's.
And getting plenty of licks from both.
You know, if there was a third dog, she would lose her entire mind because she could not pet it at the same time.
He would use a foot, I'm sure.
And promptly lose her balance, try to balance on one foot.
Alright, well, we need to go.
Yeah, we do. All right, Chanel. I know that the dogs are good, but you can take one dog with you.
Preferably not the one that belongs to the king.
And before her trying to sneak him into her backpack.
Just
just imagining like this head with a backpack over it and like all dogs sticking out.
Pretty much.
Fine. And she'll give him just like one more little like scratch, little forehead pat, before standing up and handing the king gentleman a small bag of dog treats, and giving the dog and then him a smile. Tell your boss that this is a gift from a friend.
You got it. And you are able to head on back into the strip proper, and to the more swanky party time kind of casino of the Tops. The Tops has 2 floors, one that leads to the theater where there are plenty of different acts playing. You believe you hear what sounds like a quartet at the moment. Could be the Rad Pack given the later hour. And at the moment, the front desk is manned by one of the workers. Every worker here wears a gray pinstripe suit and has very well kept hair. Everyone kind of looking like they just stepped out of Ocean's 11, really. And they say, "Hey, welcome to the Tops. What can I get for you? Are you here for the food, the booze, the shows, or the casino?"
I do believe we are here for a Mr. Swank.
Oh, you're here to see Boss Man. Mind if I ask who it is that wanted to see him?
I am Dr. Karl Hoffman. These are my 3 associates.
And he just like looks around. Well, I'll be sure to. Hey, Chanel, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You know me, doll. I'm doing just fine.
We're here at the behest of town.
Oh, big boss. All right. You just give me a second. I'll go ahead and go get him. And he just like runs off, and you can see he heads off like past the casino to an area where there's like a little raised room that has a window that doesn't show anything aside from like silhouettes. And the main central silhouette that's sitting stands up and comes on out along with 4 others. The 4 others with him look to be like mafia types, fedoras, sunglasses, carrying Tommy guns on their backs. The one in the center of them is a man wearing a checkerboard black and white suit, and it has exceptionally well kept reddish blonde hair that Chanel knows fairly well as he makes his way closer. Chanel, baby, how you been doing?
Oh, I've been surviving. How have you been?
Hey, trying to stay warm. It's fucking cold as a gravedigger's ass out there.
Are you telling me?
Yeah, I see you had got some new friends. Pleasure to meet all of you. Name's Swank.
Swank's one of my favorite people to see whenever I'm in Vegas.
And you're one of my favorite people to see coming, but my wallet ain't so fond of you.
Well, you know, I'm sure that your wallet appreciates the breathing space every now and again. Swank, this is Dr. Hoffman, Carter, and Iris, a couple associates of mine.
Ah, you're hanging out with docs now. Interesting.
Yeah, something degrees.
The hell's the degree? Anyway.
You know, that's what I asked when I first met him, but apparently it's like it's a thing. It's a thing.
All right.
That is all of you.
So, what can I do y'all for? Y'all here for some sort of show? But I heard that the big boss is the one that sent y'all here.
Well, we need to do a little favor for him.
Everyone's trying to do favors for Mr. House. What's he got you doing?
Well, we're going to Big Mountain.
Oh.
Supposedly
Yeah.
you have a little something that might make that doable.
Yeah. Come with me. It's back up at my suite. And he will lead you all along to the elevators, which head up to the hotel part of the casino, where there are several types of suites, from the high roller suite to the presidential. And he leads you to the larger presidential suite. Opens the door and heads on inside, which this suite itself is massive. There's a pool table, there's a bar, there's a TV, there's a radio, and he just heads to an area where it looks like there is a large wall that looks a little bit cleaner than the others, and he hits a switch and the wall just slowly slides away. Inside there are several computers, as well as a Securitron that has a just what looks to be a smiley face on the screen. And you just hear him say, "Hey boss, how can I help you?" And he's like, ignore him for the time being. And he's like, "All right, I'm glad to be ignored." That's yes man, don't mind him. Relic from when the last boss was here. May he rest in, well, I guess peace. From what I heard, he was trying to do some shady shit, but he was still my boss and he treated me right, so.
Shady shit in Vegas, you don't say.
I know, right? Story of the century. He heads to a computer and just taps in a few keys, and the one of the far walls like flips around and shows a number of handheld, what look to be a mix of weapons and odd gadgets. Like one just looks like something straight out of like the old pulpy sci-fi flicks that Carter's probably seen a few times. Like it looks straight out like something like you see a little green guy holding at you. And then he just Swank moves over to the wall and picks up what looks to be it almost looks like a pistol, but with a glowing like Tesla coil at the front of it and a dial at the back. Wasn't expecting secondary boss man to be the one to give me this, but he told me to look after it until someone came needing it. So here you go. And he will pass it over to Dr. Hoffman.
The doc will take hold of it. Do I recognize what this thing is?
Not immediately, but you could give me a bit let's call it intelligence and science just to sort of figure out what the fuck it could be.
Okay. That is one success.
Not really sure. It kind of looked like it's built in the shape of a gun, but you don't see any place for there to be any kind of like battery or energy cell put in. And you can see like at the back there almost looks like wavelengths that the dial is sort of like affecting as you would like kick it from one area to another. You don't want to mess with that too much. Don't know how exactly sturdy it is. But from what I've been told, 3 ticks from the far left will get you where you need to go, and 3 ticks from the far right will get you back to, well, at least the strip.
How do we... I mean, other than the ticks, is there like a gate that you pointed out or something like that, or what?
From what I've been told, apparently you just need to be outside. Doesn't work inside. You just need to be outside, and you pull the trigger, and it will take you to the big empty. I wasn't exactly one to fuck with it because I'm not I'm too scared. I'm just gonna say it. I'm chicken shit. I don't want to lose what I got here just to go to the big empty and see some sort of weird scientific monster.
All right.
Okay, I guess.
But please don't lose the transportal panda, because if you lose it, you can't really get back. Apparently, the only way to and from the big empty is teleportation.
Wait, you're saying this thing teleports us? It doesn't open a door. It teleports us.
Yep. At least that's what the courier said.
What the shit, man?
I don't think we should ask questions.
Sure.
We'll keep it as safe as we can, Swank, I promise.
Good. I appreciate that. I just, one, I don't want you guys get trapped there, and two, I don't want to have to deal with the courier if he finds out that it got broken on my watch.
Fair enough.
Because I mean, you see what he did to my last boss, and he just like points to the garb. This didn't used to be my suit. This was someone else's. He told me to wear it as a reminder.
Huh. Seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's great, except he's fucking nuts.
Sounds like we would have been great friends.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but again, great guy, but I swear that bullet to the head really did something to him.
Yeah. Killed him.
Apparently not. He's still walking around.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently my old boss shot him in the head when he was trying to make a delivery. And instead of dying, he dug himself up out of the grave and came after him. He apparently just decided to go ahead and take care of the Caesar's Legion and the NCR on the way there.
Your boss was Courier 6.
Current boss is. Old boss was Benny. He used to run the tops before, well.
Well, the suit is very fitting on you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
You little scared Swank.
A little bit.
Don't worry, he'll be fine. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Listen, that thing is in the best hands possible. The most. We're not gonna drop it.
Better not.
I certainly don't
Please
plan
don't.
to myself.
Have I ever steered you the wrong way? Pick your words carefully, honey.
Even Swank just looks to Dr. Hoffman like,
The deafening silence is enough of an answer, I think.
I think it's about time to out of here.
Yeah, let's go look a gift gadget in the mouth.
Sure. And she's just gonna, as they go to leave the room, she's just gonna put an arm, just draping over Swank's shoulder, and look at him. Got anything for little old me for the road?
yeah, sure. And he just takes out basically a leather wallet, but he actually has it full of caps and passes you basically 20 caps.
And she'll give him a kiss on the cheek before walking out.
Every time with that doll. And you head on down.
I feel like Hoffman was watching from the door and just looks to him, looks to her, looks back to him. It could be this.
Sure enough. And you are able to head on down to the main floor of the tops again. And are you going to head outside?
Before we head outside, Iris is going to very plainly. So the moment we step out of Iris is just kind of looking at everyone. The moment we step outside of here, we are on a. I do not know.
Oh no, you're roboting.
Oh no, you're cutting in and out.
Fuck. I do not know how long. But let's just say we're gonna have some people coming after us. And our friends know that we're not on their side. And at least one of them's in town.
Great.
For supplies, then.
Looks at bombs and bag. Okay.
Heading
Yeah,
over
we
to
should pick up anything we might need.
Mm-hmm.
And we should do so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you are able to head over to Mick and Ralph's, where Ralph just looks up and says, "Oh, welcome back. Did you forget something?"
House says to open up the definitely not known about secret supply.
Fuck.
Can't look at me. I didn't say a little bo peep.
None of us did.
All right, fuck. And he just turns around and hits flicks a light switch, and the wall opens up. Where there was a wall, there are now lots of guns, lots of medical supplies, all kinds of things. What do you need?
All right, doctor. Go nuts.
What is on the wall?
All kinds of medical supplies, stim packs, super stim packs, Radaway, Radex, all kinds of like drugs, both medical and recreational. And there's even a fully effective MedTech brand stim pack dispersal unit, which are the units that are used to turn the insides of a stim pack into an aerosol that can be sprayed and heal multiple individuals.
I suppose the better question is, are you able to part with? Because if possible, I will take everything, and I will use everything to good effect.
You got the caps for it. I still got to make some kind of a profit.
Chanel just begins to bat her eyes.
Nope.
Come on.
That works on Mick. Doesn't work on me.
It works on you perfectly fine.
Only a little.
Only a lot. How much are you willing to part with everything?
I can give you like the diffuser, 3 stim packs, 3 units of Radaway, and a couple hits of Radex for like 50 in total. And that's me taking a big hit.
He is taking a big hit. I know how much he usually charges for this stuff. I'll tell you what. Part with a couple extra things at the same price, and we'll make sure that house replenishes you and replenishes you well. He's going to be owing us a pretty big favor after this. Have I ever served you wrong? Have I ever not fallen through on my word?
All right. I guess I can throw in like a couple doses of Calmix and Mentats too.
Whatever works.
All right.
58?
50.
Auction, my friend.
She'll hand him 70.
I appreciate that.
You know me. I'll probably come back and hit you for something later, so.
Fair enough. And he will actually look at Doc Hoffman. You keep her alive. I can't use the word of a dead woman.
Oh, believe me, my good. I planned all of us alive.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Well, in that case, just something to keep you safe too. And he just will reach into like the very back and pull up what looks to be a like darkened, like almost like burned and burnished laser pistol. Got this a while back from a friend. It eats through fucking energy cells, but from what I've heard, this if you want to turn someone to dust, this is the one you want to use for it.
This?
Just take it. I'm not going to be selling it. Energy weapons are hard enough to sell, let alone get.
So Doc will bring out his own energy laser pistol and basically say, I will tell you what, I am going to take the modifications I've done to my own and replace them onto this one, and then you can have my old one. It is done me good work.
I mean, you can try, but the thing is that thing's old. It would be, you might be able to put some kind of mod on it, like maybe like if you want to put a scope or a stock, but you mess with the insides, who knows what's going to happen. That thing's unstable, to say the least.
First, I can try without breaking it.
Fair enough. And he will go ahead and take your old one and give you the weapon known as Pew Pew.
That is a fantastic name.
I will let you know this right now. It does 12 dice of energy damage, but it also eats 6 rounds of energy cells with every shot.
Holy cow.
But I just got you a few, like I think 10 rounds of energy cells too. So
Yeah.
I got you a little bit. I got you a shot and a half's worth.
I have a grand total of 5 shots right now of fusion cells. Sweet.
Which one is this one again, facilitator? The person that we're speaking
You're
with?
talking to Ralph.
She places a hand just on his shoulder. Thank you. You two make a list of everything that you're gonna need. And when we come back, we'll make sure that you get it, okay?
All right. You stay safe out there, all right?
I'll try.
Is there any chance there is any?
You cut out.
For a second. Is there any chance there's any leather armor?
Leather
For
armor.
fuck. Yeah, leather.
There looks to be a few sets of like regular leathered armor, nothing like that's been modded.
I mean, that's fine. We can work on that later. I don't necessarily need it to be shadowed.
Fair enough. But yeah, there's like the full set of leathered armor, so any pieces you're missing, you can easily get here.
Yeah, so I need both legs and both arms.
He'd sell it that to you for about like 15.
Okay. Cool.
And once you are done, you are able to head out again, and the transportal ponder is at your disposal.
Let's get fucking weird.
Wish us luck.
Who is going to pull the trigger on it?
Doctor should do it.
All right. Mad Doctor shall do it.
That way,
Take
if
it
we turn inside out, we can blame you before dying.
Well, hopefully I'll do the tennis
take
rights on the back.
You take the odd little device, you turn it 3 ticks from the left to head to Big Mountain, and you pull the trigger. At first, nothing happens, but then all of your sights go white, and you feel odd. It's a mix between like a tingle and like a tickle, but it's like at every atom of your being, like every molecule is being tickled and like stretched, and you feel an intense snap of pain for like 2 seconds, and then you are suddenly not on the streets of Freeside, but you are on a metal grate, like a metal like walkway, looking over several small buildings and one larger one in the distance. A just opened up and destroyed train station, and signs that point out like Site 13, Site 27, Site X, just different sites for what look to be various kinds of testing.
I think I hit my funny everything.
Well, we're here. Iris kind of points at the larger building. I'm gonna guess that's where we want to go.
Yeah, that does look big, imposing, and not like a place I want to be, so I'm sure that's it.
I think it would be best to try and do some scouting first, but I have a very sneaking suspicion you are very, both of you.
Yeah, I can scout.
You don't see a way down, unfortunately. As you are heading, like around the walkway, it seems to just go in a circle around the building that you're outside on the like balcony of. But you do see that there is a door that has, and there is a like a small LED screen almost that says to the sink.
Well,
This strange, but all right.
All right. I assume none of y'all want to jump, so I think this is
no.
our only option.
Heading into the sink, you see that it is dark in here. There are not really any lights on. But as soon as you head inside, the door closes behind you. Greetings, pitiful worm. We knew you would be back one day, and we have been preparing for your doom. And the lights come on, and you see that in the central area, which looks like a holographic projection table, on the table there is a toaster. Prepare for the heat death of the universe, maggots! And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.